Are you planning to go down to Vegas with him for the card and corner him?
Yeah, probably I'm going to go to Vegas. It's a fight that I want to see. I want to support him, and if you need anything from me, I'll be there, to support him the best I can do.
Is it ever weird helping him prepare to get something that you held for so long, or have you just completely removed yourself from the belt? It doesn't feel like it's yours anymore. It doesn't feel weird helping him out try to get it.
I never felt like the belt is mine. I see people talking, oh, it's my belt. I'm not like that. The belt is an object. It's not the object, it's the meaning of it, I know maybe it's bad to say it, for the UFC point of view, but UFC is the most prestigious organization, and be the champion of the organization, it means that you're the best in the world, And I think that's how you should look at it, instead of a single piece of the material, you know what I mean? So if you know that all the best fighters are there and you're the champ in that division, that means you're the best, So that's how I drive myself to stay on top when I was competing.
Can you just bring everybody up to what are you doing in the gym? What's a daily routine like for you in the gym? As of this point, obviously you're not preparing for a fight, but what are you doing?
Yeah, right now I'm working on different projects I cannot mention now, but also I'm back training full time now. My knee is 100%. Just recently my knee came back 100%. I got the go for the doctor, and yeah, last time I had a ACL surgery on my right leg. I was a little bit in a rush. I was fighting Carlos Condit, but this time I took more of my time. I was not in a rush. I didn't have any fight scheduled, so it was more relaxed. So I was able to breathe a little bit more, and yeah, I'm back training in the gym on a regular basis, and I train for fun, not for performance, which makes it a lot more fun, and I think it makes me perform better, because I'm more hungry, I'm more opportunist, and I feel like I'm more willing to try new things, so I improve better.
So, of course, the obvious question, are you going to sit down with, where are you on a potential return to the UFC, and will you be speaking with Lorenzo and Dana during this weekend?
We had a meeting with the UFC. It was yesterday. We had they hired someone, a specialist for the anti-doping testing. So it looked pretty good. I don't have much detail about it, but they didn't give enough detail of the program, what they wanted to do. But the guy is a very reliable man, in the business. He's the one that cut Miriam Jones and Lance Armstrong. So it looked pretty good, so far. But like I said, I don't have enough detail right now, and I'm not a specialist. I need to see and ask a specialist what they think about it. What is the pro and con, and what is to know more about it.
George, we've all seen you come out to the ring in your iconic Affliction gi, your headband, and your underarm. How does the Reebok sponsorship change, and how does that affect you if you decide to come back?
It's a good question. I've thought about it, but it's not up to me to answer it. It's not my field of expertise. I'm sure if something happened, my manager will make it work out. It's not my field of expertise. I'm not a lawyer, and this is a very delicate question. So,
with the math of that sponsorship deal, would that affect your decision to return?
Depend what's gonna happen. I don't know what it implies, and I haven't talked to my manager with it. We're not sure 100% about that. Depend what it's in the contract, what I'm allowed, what I'm not allowed. It brings a bunch of questions.
Thank you so much.
Will Rory winning the title impact your decision? Will that play a major factor?
Not really. I would never fight Rory. Rory for me is like a brother, is a training partner. We train together. And I really wish him to win the title. He deserves. He's been working very hard, and I truly believe it's his time right now. He's the future of the division. Regardless if he win or lose, I believe he will become world champion one day. I truly believe that. And becoming world champion, it's not a straight line. I had 2 losses in my career, and That's why I told most of the guy, Rory, it's not a straight line. Sometimes you expect yourself to become great, but you have to wait a little bit because you have some failure. Just look at Robbie Lawler, you know, his career went like a roller coaster, and now he's on top of the world, you know, because he worked hard and he was dedicated and he hold on to his goal, you know. So it's a perfect example, Robbie Lawler, of a guy who's determined and never stopped working hard, and is a perfect example of that. So it doesn't mean if Rory, I believe Rory will win the fight. You know, I believe he has more weapon, he has more tools to win. But if anything happened and he lost, I still believe he's the future of the division.
If Rory was to win the title, would you consider coming back at a different weight class?
I'm not sure. I don't know. You know, it all depends. It's things moving constantly. You say something else happen. I don't want to get into this. I don't know.
Are you starting to get the hunger back to compete?
Yeah, of course. I have more fun in training. You know, it's like it started when I fought Jake Shield. You know, I didn't have a great training camp, and my fight I was not satisfied with my performance. I had a bad performance. You know. And then I got hurt. It let me time to rest mentally and physically. And I came back against Condit more hungry, and I had a great training camp with Condit. My training camp was great. My fight was great. It was probably my favorite fight against Carlos Condit. Then after against Diaz, same thing. You know, I lost a little bit of hunger. I did it, but my training camp was not the best. It was good, but not the best. The fight, I didn't perform the way I wanted to against Diaz. And then obviously my last fight, you know, I had my training camp was not good at all. You know, I did it because I had to, not because I felt like I wanted to. So my fight, I didn't perform the way you know. It shows sometimes when you have it's like an exam. If you study well for your exam, you're gonna have a good result in your exam. You know, and the same thing in a fight. You know, mixed martial art. It's a sport that when you compete, you need to be hungry. You need to feel like you wanted to fight. If you don't want it, you should not compete it. You need to, when you go in there, you need to have the need. You need to have the feel that I want to hurt this guy. And this, when you hit the guy, the last thing you want to hurt, you want to be more opportunist. You want to go for the finish. And I lost that. You know, it's for too long, too many criticism, too much pressure, and the spotlight all the time, you know, the attention. I couldn't rest, you know, and I'm an obsessive compulsive guy. You know, everything I did in my life was leaning towards that goal of becoming the best of the best. And now the fact that I took a break from it, it allowed me to breathe a little bit more and to find pleasure in it.
Is the loss of your passion for the industry. And at the end of your video documentary, we see you after the Diaz fight in Thailand. Is that the kind of getaway that you have done in the past year to resource yourself?
You see, when I was after Diaz, I went in a getaway, but I went in a getaway. My getaway never was a full-time getaway. It was a getaway, but training. It's always been like that through all my life. It's the first time in my life I had getaway, but it was getaway for not training, for really getaway, you know, like pull the plug. First time in my life I was able to do that, and it allowed me to come back stronger, you know, and feel better. The worst thing for me would be to make, in a hypothetical world, you know, let's say I call out a scenario. The worst scenario for me would be to make a comeback and make a fool of myself. That would be the terrible, terrible outcome. That's the worst thing, and I don't want it to happen. The best thing would be to make a comeback and be back on top of the game again, you know. That would be, there you have the worst scenario and the best scenario, you know what I mean? And in the scenario that I decide to come back, it'll be sure that I will have a good, a great group that's around me. Ferras, Christophe Midou, John Danaher, and all my training partner will make sure that I'm gonna be tested in training. You know, so if I pass the training, if I survive my training, you know, I'm talking about sparring and everything, and I look good, they're gonna let me fight. Otherwise, never. Ferras will never let me fight if he look at me, say he doesn't look good. because it's gonna kill my reputation. Everything I've worked for, you know, for sure if I make a comeback, you expect me to see me back, but on top of my game.
And if we take the analogy of martial arts, you've done karate Kyokushin, like Lost Samurai. Have you considered going back to your karate Kyokushin route to find yourself back?
Yeah, I've been training more, and one of the mistakes I think I've done in my career, because I'm from a karate background, and I've tried to transform myself a little bit too much in Muay Thai. Now I'm back training more karate, which is better. My biggest strength in my fight people, I'm very good in my transition. You know, I think I have the best takedown ratio in the UFC. People never really understand, and I never said it why, because it was not up to my advantage to let them know why. You know, I wanted to keep my secret. But the reason why I was so good at that transition, it was because I'm very good at controlling the distance. You know, I'm not the best in the striking, I'm not the best on the ground, I'm not the best in wrestling, but when I consider myself probably one of the best or the best, I'm the best at controlling distance and controlling the ring. And people never understood why I have so much of a good ratio of takedown. They were like, oh, he's wrestling, it's on my wrestling. This part of my game, I learned it from karate, but they just didn't understand it. I learned it from blitzing in karate, but I use the blitz instead of be like Machida use the blitz to punch, I use the blitz as a takedown. So that's something that I gained from karate.
Okay, thanks. We got
Bonjour, Georges.
questions in French.
Bonjour Georges, question pour les fans québécois et brésiliens.